Crying in the middle of the grocery store. Rock bottom has been reached. Straight to the point, today I reached new levels of rock bottom and fully broke down in the middle of the grocery store. During afternoon rush, so yeah, there were witnesses to my demise, lol. Essentially, after uni I went to the store to run some errands. I was asked by my mother to buy a loaf of bread and some other miscellaneous items. It's worth mentioning that I suffer greatly from social anxiety, so whenever I am in public my guard is already up, especially when I am alone. While shopping, one of the grocery store employees approached me and began our interaction by saying, "OMG, I wish I had my phone on me, so that I could take a picture of you." At this point my stomach drops because this is an interaction I've had many times before and I'm frankly sick of it. The employee goes on to say that she sees other people like me from time to time in the store and insists on taking their picture, regardless of their objections. Weird behavior if you ask me. Usually my default reaction to people, regardless of my social anxiety, is friendliness, almost to my own detriment because it enables people to say the craziest things to me without any consequence. However, this day, I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was the pure exhaustion I felt from writing a 5-hour exam earlier that day and being absolutely sleep-deprived, but something in me just couldn't muster up the energy to hide my discomfort. At this point, I slightly begging walking away from the employee after offering her a lifeless "Ach." However, she chooses to follow me and continue our conversation. She then utters the statement which led to the tears in aisle 3. The employee, harmlessly, with no ill intent, says, "I wish more than anything that I could have a daughter who is the same as you." To someone else this can be considered as such a compliment, but to me in that situation, I couldn't help but be extremely triggered and ended up responding, "You don't? It's a miserable life." For some context, I was born with the genetic condition dwarfism, meaning as an adult I have the similar height as a 10-year-old, around 4 feet 1 inch or so. This condition comes with a lot of challenges that can go unseen to those who aren't directly affected: the constant staring, pointing, the bullying, the social exclusion, the constant feeling of being infantilized and undermined in professional setting, the constant fear for your safety, and overall the social anxiety that results from the above. It's heavy and painful and lonely and leads to a lot of mental health issues. It's something that you never quite really get used to, and at times it's so unbearable you wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy. Ultimately, in my 20-something years, never have I vocalized to anyone, let alone a stranger, exactly how miserable this type of life is. What led to the floodgates opening for good was how much the employee chose to invalidate this remark, repeatedly saying, "Lol, it's not miserable, it's cute," which looking back might have been her response to an awkward situation. Bless her honestly, because what does one say at that point? But once she eventually left me alone in aisle 3, lol, I couldn't help but break down on the spot because of it, how invalidated I felt, how overall exhausted I feel with the cards I've been dealt. I truly don't know. All I know is I've truly reached peak adulthood when having an entire meltdown in public just counts as another Tuesday. Anyways, every time I cry I can't help but think of the wise words of Shrek, "Better out than in." Lol. Take care, X.